Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming another Friday Reads video. So lately, if you are friends with me on Goodreads, you've probably noticed that I've been reading like a crap ton of books. The reason being is because some things have happened recently that have made me decide that I need to kind of research on some other topics that I haven't studied in a while. And another one of the books is because of a class that I'm taking and I'm required to read this book and do kind of like a report on it. So without further ado, let's get started on the books that I am currently reading. So the first one that I have here is Hitler, the Man and the Military Leader, and this is by Percy Ernst Schramm, and it was edited by Donald S. Detweiler, and it's kind of bulky because I have a pen in here holding my place. So this is the book that I'm reading for my class right now, and I'm only about 46 pages into it, and it's pretty interesting. It kind of gives a little bit more insight into Hitler. But basically what I'm trying to focus on is his leadership techniques and how he worked with people around him and things like that, and more about his character. There are some very interesting things in this that I didn't know about Hitler that I'm kind of surprised by. So it's not really, it's not really a boring read, but it is a little bit tedious because I do have to take notes while I'm reading it. And this book I actually have to have read and a paper done on it by the 27th of this month, so I really need to get through this one as soon as possible. I just need to get a little bit more motivated to read it. So the next book that I have is The Archive by Victoria Schwab. This is on my TBR for April, and I just decided yesterday to pick this one up because I wanted to have a book that I could read for enjoyment purposes, to kind of like distract myself from the tedious reading that I've been doing. I wanted something that I could take a break with, and so far I am 40 pages into this and I really like it so far. It's interesting. It took me a little bit to get into it. Maybe the first 20 pages I was kind of like, what in the world is going on? But I'm starting to grasp the plot line a little bit better and I'm liking it so far. So hopefully I can get through this one by the end of the month. I intend to. The next two books are the books that I was talking about that I kind of wanted to read these books as like a refresher for my brain, because I graduated with my bachelor's degree in psychology about 2 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. So I kind of wanted to, like I said, refresh my mind on some things that I may have forgotten between the time that I studied these things and now. So right now I'm reading On Becoming a Person, A Therapist's View of Psychotherapy by Carl R. Rogers. This book I got from the library. It was the only book that I could find that was kind of on therapy, and that's what I was looking for. It was like, not from the patient perspective, but from a therapist viewpoint. This was the only one I found, and I just looked, it was published in 1961 originally. So this book is so old and so outdated, but I have been skimming through it and picking up bits and pieces. I'm on page 74, but I have been going through like certain chapters that interest me more than others. So I don't know if I'm going to read this book as like a whole, because it is taking a lot out of me and it's so outdated. I didn't know it was that outdated. So it may not benefit me as much as I thought it would, but because it was the only book that I could find in my public library, I decided to try it and see how it went. And I have been getting some tidbits out of it that I find to be interesting and that probably could be applied today, but some of it seems like it's more focused on the author himself and like his experiences with public speaking and stuff, more so than it deals with therapeutic techniques. But that being said, I'm only about 70 pages in, as I said, so I can't really judge it just yet. And the next book that I'm reading, and I'm actually reading this cover to cover, and I purchased this book because it had such great reviews, and it's a lot newer. This one was published in 2012, and it is Becoming a Therapist on the Path to Mastery. As you can see, there's lots of tidbits in this book that are very helpful to me. So I'm only about 60 pages into this book. The font is quite small and it's taking me longer to get through this because it has so much informative tidbits in it that I really want to process, and I want to read it a lot slower. So this is the last book that I am currently reading, thank the Lord, because I have way too many books that I'm reading right now, and most of them are not for fun, and that's unfortunate. But I did throw in The Archive to kind of give myself a little break, so when my head starts to feel like it's going to explode, I can transport myself into that world. So these are the books as a whole that I'm currently reading. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in this kind of thing, but if you are, let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, like the therapy books or the book on Hitler, and let me know what your viewpoints are. Or if you have any like recommendations for books that are more current, that would be better for me to get information from, that would be great, because I'm having a really hard time finding books that will work for me that are not like really expensive. So if you have any recommendations, I would highly appreciate it. So that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what books you plan to read this weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Jeez. Coordination, Jen. So, get out of the way, pen. When were you published? Wow! This is old.